Everybody, so today, as you guys can tell by the title, we are going to be talking about why no contact works so well. And y'all, I'm going to get straight into it. Overall, no contact works so well because obviously she has to now have that void filled in, and it's only going to be filled in if she has to message you and does message you, or if she gets over you, moves on. And there's obviously other ways. So just know that you're putting a void in her life, or you're supposed to be with no contact, and ultimately the days leading up to when she will eventually message you, you have had enough time put in between for her to get to that point. So if we now move on, it matters that you keep no contact going. There is no deadline. There is no time period, of course. If you guys do not know, I used to say that, you should wait at least a whole month, push it even longer. But you know what? At some point, you're going to have to maybe go a whole 6 months, not because you waited, but you elevated, and now she has to work her ass off or do the most to get you. So it might take time, but don't put no time period on it. The longer, the better. But the real thing that I want to really get into in this video is that how you put her in this position of now having to fill in this answer. So like I was saying, the void is going to be there. If you go ahead and don't speak to her, she's going to feel some sort of, okay, well, where is he at? But the real question is, how does she react? And so now when you put her in the position of having to fill in this void and having to need these answers, what no contact does to make it work really the best is having that woman now have no option. I don't talk about this, but fellas, have you gotten to a point where you put a woman in a position of saying, I'm going to walk away, or I'm actually going to be committed? I'm actually going to be submitted. I'm actually going to be all here. I'm not you're going to get her to submit. Let me not reach a little bit. You're not going to get a woman to most times flat out come back and ready to submit to you. But you do, and you have to, and what you will do with no contact is put a woman in the position of needing that answer and giving you that answer, right? So she needs the answer of knowing, okay, well, what do I do? This is the little bit that I was saying that, okay, well, how does she react? So she's going to be like, well, what do I do? Do I still want him? Do I still want to speak to him? Am I going to wait until he replies, right? And that's why I was saying the longer you push it, the better, because now she has to think about it more days. She has to, it's harder. The more days that goes on, another day. Where is he at? No text? You guys, yes, you might not be important in her life, but when she sees that text missing from one of the 5 guys that she has, one of the 5 guys that she has, it's gonna matter. It's the ego that you have to get to, right? It's the pride that you have to break. So now when we have no contact work so well, she has to figure it out because you're gone. No contact is even better because when you do the no contact, most times she knows kind of why you left, right? Most times it's not like ghosting. No contact, you have to get to that point because you're trying to make her, basically come back, but you're supposed to do your thing as well, right? So you're trying to get her to that, okay, well, should I message him? Should I keep waiting? She has to answer that. And now once she answers that, it leads to that main point that I was saying of, okay, I have to give him the, I gotta go. I have to give him the, you know what? I'll text you a little bit more. Sometimes when they do come back, obviously with no contact, after filling that void in or figuring out how to fill that void in or what to do with the void that now you left, she has to now also completely know that if I do stick around, my behavior won't last. So yes, you might put a woman in a position of maybe changing, but it doesn't really matter. The end goal with no contact most times is to better yourself. It should be main thing, but to just get her to come back. So once you get her to come back, really, fellas, she can tell you that I'll change. She will change for maybe a week. Who knows? But no contact doesn't matter because it only applied to the point where she came back to you. So now we can talk about that part in a different story, a different video. Let me know. But I'm only saying that part is a whole nother story because how can you keep her around once she comes back? That's the question. But you just had to get her back. So if we move on from now getting her back and now she has to decide what she's going to do and now act on it, y'all, your no contact is applying best because you are putting more work into yourself. So no contact, and I didn't really talk too much about it because I talked so much about purpose. I try to talk about self-development, self-love, all the improvements that you can make. So just because I didn't say much about it, it's still important that no contact will only work so well as well as you are working on yourself. So basically, this time period that you're bettering yourself, yes, you could push yourself to basically not speak to her, since no contact is going to help having her reach out to you more, but you want to push yourself more so you can connect to yourself more. So when you're connecting to yourself more, you're going to start getting over her a little bit more. You're not talking to her all the time, right? You're also helping yourself out. Now you have more time to yourself. Maybe you are still dwelling on her or, thinking about her. But when you're doing your no contact, if you're not doing it correctly, then you're not going to be in the gym so you can stop thinking about her and so you can better yourself, right? So think about the steps that you're taking to actually do no contact correctly. Because if you're not doing it all correctly all around, with especially the major things that I've said, it's not gonna work. So if you say, I'm not gonna go to the gym because I just miss Deborah, or you know what, Brittany or Ashley, Lauren, Lisa, Tisha, who can I name? Name your girl. No, I'm just joking. But you can't say because she is not speaking to you or she made you feel a certain way, I'm not going to the gym. Okay, so you're gonna stay in bed. Okay, you might not be a gym person. That's fine. You don't have to better yourself in that way. And you don't have to be a gym person. Obviously, health is wealth. You should care about your health, of course. But it could be maybe you're a book person. Or it could be hanging out with your guys. If you decide to basically say, I'm not going to do none of these things to keep my mind off of her, then no contact is not going to work. And of course, she's not going to just want a man like that. Obviously, that's besides the point, right? Like this whole simp thing. You're just trying to get her to see this other side of you, really. But you're not going to have her do that when you're over here not taking steps to better yourself. Because if you get too stuck on the concept of I'm just doing no contact and that's all, you might as well just call it ignoring. You might as well just call it ghosting or something. You could call it just any other thing because it's just temporary, right? No contact, yes, it's also temporary in a sense of when she comes back after that certain period of time, you've done no contact successfully. But you make everything matter more. And honestly, I can say with ignoring all those things, you can add things. Like I have a video that I just did talking about ignoring, but it's no contact becoming such a big deal that makes it work so well. And so all these things, because no contact is not like every other thing out here, right? And I already named some. You have to make sure that all of the things are getting done. Because it's not one of those that you can do some and think it's going to work. But no contact, you're giving her so many things that's overwhelming her that she has to now make the decision of, okay, you know what? I am going to stick around. So let's just talk about this. And this could be more realistic, right? Where, you know what? She might not come back around because she never really liked you. You don't have that money, all that status. That is honestly probably most times the case. Fellas, right back to you. Now you have to keep pushing it. Eventually it will work because she still has that answer that she has to fill. The void can come back when she sees that you have a new girl and you're doing so well, right? That void can come back maybe just 2 months after, you know what, she said, I don't even want to do nothing with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. It could come back and then she can just, want you. It could happen like that. But it's because you extended, you waited, you didn't rush or say, okay, well, no contact is not working for two weeks. And, she doesn't seem like she needs any answers, or she doesn't seem like she has a void. She's just living. No, you don't say that, because in her mind, that's not what's going on. Fellas, women, what they say is not what they do already. So think about it that way. What they feel in their mind is not really what they feel realistically. If they're obviously feeling with their heart, not just ego and pride type of thing. But just don't think that because you are cutting it short, it's not going to even work. But if you extend it, just because you're going to be feeling like there's a higher chance since she's so hot, it doesn't matter, because that void will come back, because now she has to fill it in due to those reasons that she's bothered by. So take it like this. No contact can work at any time. Your job is just to always do no contact. And this is why I didn't want to talk about what happens afterwards, since there's so much to say. But even after she comes back, you're still technically doing no contact. If you bettered yourself, you're invested and involved in yourself, You should be still spending a lot of time with yourself, or at least more time that you were spending compared to before because you were involved with her. So you need this woman to see that you're improved, you're better, and also have a reason, a real reason to want to come back. That's what leads her ultimately to wanting to come back. Yes, she might get the void later on, even though you were doing good before, but then that's just going to be a different reason. Like I said, you might get a hot babe, but these things affect them and they deal with them all differently. Your patience matter. Taking your time with no contact matters. That's what's going to work better. But if you have a nice looking girl, a girl that deals with a lot of men, just don't be doing no contact with the expectations of, okay, well, you know, she still should be messaging me soon. No contact really still should have you guys come right back to yourself. And this is what helps you keep it going, to keep it working. It should ultimately have you come right back and be so invested into yourself. Because even if she comes back after no contact working, y'all, you're not getting the best of both worlds. I mean, you're not getting the best of the best realistically no more, because you're now getting a woman that wants you because the void is there and now she can fill it by acting right or being back in your life somehow. But that's not enough, because who wants a girl that didn't even really want them in the beginning? So, fellas, you want no contact to change you, evolve you. It's gonna show itself, but make no contact to be about you, yourself. That's how you're gonna get to her. A lot of times, some fellas get so caught up in the whole idea of no contact. Oh, I'm not talking to her. You know what? I'm doing all these things, doing this, that. And it's just like, it's just getting so messy. But, or not, let me not say messy. It's just getting so lost and confused. So instead, it's about you coming and getting your life together. If she sees that, okay, this guy finally understood that this whole time he was spending so much time late at night speaking to me, I wasn't even, you know, answering right away all the time. But if he realized that he spent so much time speaking to me, instead he could have just, you know what, just went to bed early, been able to get up early and change his life, then you would see how much no contact didn't matter. It was about you. You got to make no contact about you. Fellas, no contact is really working because she's coming back to want to get your attention back too, right? So it's really like, yes, in her favor, or she might realize things. But fellas, if you're not about yourself, especially at the end of it, staying true to yourself, now that you found yourself or gone on your purpose or doing better, these women will come back after no contact and use you. Nothing will change after no contact unless like you really change yourself. So fellas, you have to grow the balls. You have to grow enough courage, should I say. But most importantly, you have to have enough strength with women. If you have enough strength, that's not going to be complicated to the point where you can't keep it going. It just means that you have enough strength, maybe, you know, not all the time, but it just means your strength is going to show here and there, but it just still means that you're about yourself. You want no contact to change your life, but it's changing your life because now you're becoming a high value man. You're becoming that guy. You don't want no contact to be, oh, well, I got Brittany and I'm going to keep Brittany and make that work for me. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm being real because, yeah, now you can have all the money, have no contact work. You took her back. Okay, well, yeah, you changed and you're doing good, but have you really, really changed? Because Brittany is still a materialistic girl that just wants your money as well. So you want it to change you inside, and she has to see that you are doing no contact from the strength of you don't care. Now, I'm going to cut this video here because I want to do a part 2, of course, but I'm going to cut it here because the no caring part is like a whole new topic that I'm excited to talk about. But to give you guys just a little, like, you know, a little insider of not caring, you have to get it to not caring. No contact has to be where doesn't matter. Tuned into yourself, completely divided into yourself, is you or nothing. Let's say it like that, okay? And fellas, if you have any questions, I know sometimes it's like, okay, certain things I haven't touched on. I apologize. You know, try to get out as much information as I can. So just bear with me. But if you do want any more videos, any questions you guys have, concerns, let me know down below. And if you guys haven't already given this video a big thumbs up, please do so. And yes, please check out those 2 other channels that I do have links down below. And you guys will see me in my next video. Bye, guys.